everyone. Hope all is well. My name is Alyssa Lieutenant. I am a part of Group 2, and this is our project. As you can see, this is our title screen, which has all of the group members of this project. Right here, we got Madison, Denise, Elijah, Evelyn, and me. And this right here is our table of contents, where you will find the layout of how this project will go. In section 1, the research will be provided. In section 2, the work will be provided. In section 3, our video will be provided. And right here is our introduction. In this project, we will be conducting research on the conditions of high blood pressure, which is also known as the silent killer, due to a person's inability of knowing they have high blood pressure. In addition, we will explain the differences between systolic and diastolic blood pressure and what happens when an individual has high blood pressure. The research questions are as follows. What is considered low, normal, high blood pressure? Who is at risk for high blood pressure? And what are some lifestyle changes that one can make to lower their blood pressure? With the data given, the average systolic blood pressure of adults 18 and over is 12 mmHg with a standard deviation of 12 mmHg. Along with the set of blood pressure data, individuals ages 20 to 35, our group will calculate the descriptive statistics of the dataset. Find the probability that a person is randomly selected from the group with high and low blood pressure, along with concluding if the data is within the normal range. We also will sketch the distribution, calculate the z-scores, and the probability for each blood pressure category. Section 1, the research. What is high blood pressure? High blood pressure can be easily defined as the force of your blood pushing against the walls of your blood vessels consistently too high. Those who are at risk of high blood pressure are individuals that have family history of high blood pressure, those who have an unhealthy diet, those who are overweight, those who have diabetes, those who suffer from stress, those who smoke, and those who suffer from sleep apnea, men over 64, and women over 65. In order to avoid this, there must be some significant lifestyle changes. These lifestyle changes include managing stress, no smoking, keeping a healthy weight, getting the rest you need, and getting at least 150 minutes of physical activity. Systolic indicates how much pressure your blood is exerting against your artery walls when the heart beats. In other words, it is measured when the heart beats. Diastolic indicates how much pressure your blood exerting against your artery walls while the heart is resting between beats. In other words, it's measured between beats when the blood pressure is at its lowest. What occurs when an individual has high blood pressure? When an individual has high blood pressure, there are 3 things an individual is at risk of. Number 1, an individual is more at risk of heart disease, heart attacks, and heart failure. Number 2, an individual is more at risk of stroke and brain problems. And number 3, an individual is more at risk of kidney disease. A low blood pressure reading is 80 systolic over 60 diastolic. A normal blood pressure reading is 120 or less systolic over 80 or less diastolic. A high blood pressure reading is 140 or more systolic over 90 or more diastolic. This is a picture that I found really cute and related to what's going to this project. And these are my resources.
So for calculations, part A, I was supposed to calculate the descriptive statistics of the data set, such as the range, mean, and standard deviation. For the range, I subtracted 63 from 166, and that led me to 103, 106. I got it from the data set right here, since it was like the biggest number, and 63 being the smallest right here. And so for the mean, I added up all of these numbers right here, and I divided that by 50 since there are 50 numbers, and I got 125. For the last one, the standard deviation, I got 18.
What is the probability that a person randomly selected from a population has a systolic blood pressure above 140? To find that out, you take the z-score, which is 140 minus 125, divided by 18, which then gives you 0.83, and then 80.23 is a percentile. We subtract that from 100, which then comes out to 19.77%.
Hi, my name is Evelyn, and for C, we're going to find the probability that a randomly selected person from the population has a blood pressure below 80. So the data item would be 80, and to find the z-score, we use the formula data item minus mean divided by the standard deviation. Our mean would be 125 because if we use this table, added all the numbers up and divide the amount of numbers there are, we would get 125. And we found the standard deviation by using Excel. Therefore, the results approximately be negative 2.5. And to find the percentile, we use this graph and we would get 0.62. So the probability that a randomly selected person from the population has a blood pressure below the systolic of 80 is approximately 0.62%. As for the sketch, Alyssa shaded in below 80 because we are looking for the blood pressure below 80, nothing more above. For D, we needed to find if the systolic was within the normal range of 90 to 130. So we had to calculate two numbers. For the first one, it would be 90, and we used the same formula to find the z-score, and got approximately negative 1.94, and the percentile would be 2.87%. As for 130, we got approximately 0.28, and the percentile would be 61.79%. After finding all these calculations, we subtracted both numbers, both percentages, and got 58.92%. So therefore, the probability that a randomly selected person from the population that has a blood pressure within the normal systolic range of 90 to 130 is 58.92%. And for the sketch, Alyssa shaded in between 90 to 130 because we were looking for the number in between and nothing more below 90 or nothing above 130.